Okay, I'm back. I've not been informed of the regularity of these entries into Elysium, but I am one with the truth, and will ensure that what I know is included as well. It is the truth we seek, and it is important you know that this is the real truth, not one of the fake truths. The first two entries inform us of the specifics as to Dr. Kennedy's arrival within Inferno, and this entry, if I'm correct, gives the specific situation in which he arrived, because, well, those of you who've landed there unexpectedly and somehow made it back will know. For the others, there's no possible way to explain what one might see when looking up for the first time in Inferno.
Inferno is a place of terror, suffering, and unspeakable beauty. It is a world of winding staircases, yawning shafts, torture chambers, majestic halls, and dark catacombs. In Inferno's endless labyrinths, the traveler can encounter raging storms, devoted pilgrims, and grand and terrible sights. Blind augurs bend over autopsy tables of stainless steel, desperately trying to discover truths and predictions in steaming entrails. Nailed to nightmarish monuments, entranced lunatics sing their praises to the Death Angels and pain itself. Here, Astaroth and his Death Angels rule from their enormous citadels. Those seeking answers to the riddles of time and space may find hidden truths in Inferno's lofty towers, abandoned libraries, or in prostration before its alien cogwheels and machines. In deep meditation, the Nephirites stretch out their minds to find paths into Elysium, tasting our ripe world, luring the unwary, and trying to slip through. Our torture institutions, prisons, death camps, and psychiatric hospitals all border on Inferno, as are countless other places baptized in blood and suffering. A world so distant, yet so terrifyingly close. Dr. Kennedy, you come to consciousness, lying face down on the ground. You pull your arms up to push yourself from this position, and long strands of a viscous substance string back to the ground from your moving arms. It smells like tea leaves and bile. The slime envelops you like a placenta does a newborn. You can hear the muffled drone of wailing voices in minor keys through the sticky membrane. You find yourself naked and covered in the viscera of being reborn into Inferno. Tell me, Ernst, when you were experimenting and researching for your serum, did you ever see anything from the other side of the veil?
On occasion.
Tell me about one of those occasions.
The very first was quite some time ago, and long before I'd ever taken any steps towards my work with the serum. A more recent example would be a young man that I'd had acquired. This must be, 10, 15 years ago now. I'd had him acquired through some means or another, and I had him strapped to my table in the basement. I'd taken pieces of him, and I was using his blood in a sort of chemistry experiment, titration and the like, but I could see this shimmer in the corner of the laboratory. And the more pieces of this young man that were removed, the clearer the other side of that shimmer became. It was fascinating, really. Eventually, I think I saw something looking back through. It's hard to tell. The patient expired before I was able to do much more delving into that particular experiment, but it was fascinating at the time.
You wipe clear your eyes and blurrily begin to take in your surroundings. A woman runs past you, emaciated. She has long limbs that are out of proportion with her torso. You can see that she has a short, sharp stick in each hand, and she is jabbing it into her leg in pace with each stride. You have no more than cleaned the ooze from your eyes, and you are sprayed with blood as she dashes past. What do you do?
I wipe it from my face and stare after her as she runs by. Curious indeed.
It isn't long after that you can hear the sound of dozens of heavy footfalls from the same direction that she came.
That I am less curious about, and I'll look around for some sort of concealment if I can find any.
Roll to assess the situation, plus perception.
Not particularly my strong suit, but that is an 11.
How, or what is it that you are looking for? Are you looking to hide? Are you looking to get out of the way of this mob that you can hear running in the darkness? What is your...
A bit of column A, a bit of column B, I suppose.
You can see dozens and dozens of individuals, not running fast, but definitely running in your direction. But there are all sorts of strange gaits amongst this group. You can see two torsos kind of bobbing and moving together, and as they get closer, you can see that they are balanced on a waist with 3 legs, human, and attempting to run. There are hundreds of lash marks across their torso and legs, one face contorted in a permanent scream, the second broken jaw hanging. Where are you going?
Did I find anything to get behind, to get out of the way?
It is all just darkness. You can choose to move in one direction or the other.
To the right, then.
To the right you go. Act under pressure, please, as this group descends upon you, or descends upon where you are sitting.
A 12.
A 12. You are able to get to your feet, and you move off to the right, but you are caught in this ooze, in this viscera that you have been born back from. You recognize your nakedness, and all of a sudden you are cold. This all floods into your mind as you are trying to escape from in front of this group, and a morbidly obese woman who is running on the edge of this group. Her hair is wild with wiry curls. She is naked. Her flesh is covered in scars and stretch marks. And as she is getting past you, there are multiple extra limbs, small, childlike limbs attached to her in various places, and they smack you as she is wobbling as fast as she can past you in pursuit of that runner. You fall to the ground. Roll to avoid harm.
A 10 even.
A 10 even. So you are fully knocked to the ground at this point, and everything that is running toward and past you is a deformity of some sort, a perversion of humanity, I would say. Some have body modifications that make them seem almost machine-like, right? So some are, and you've seen some of this previously, the limbs held together by rivets and leather straps, exposed organs through clear panels, hooks embedded in places that can cause nothing but pain. The open wounds, though, they appear to be intentional. There are pinned back sections of skin, showing the dermis beneath, similar to the way that you took pieces from that last boy. What do you do as you lay there on the ground? None of them seem to notice you. They all seem to be chasing the original runner that ran past you.
If that's the case, then I'll do my best to not be stomped upon and observe. Feel as though I might be able to learn something about the denizens of this place if I watch them long enough.
Roll act under pressure to avoid being trampled by this growing crowd.
A 14.
And then a 14. You roll over in an attempt to clear yourself from this ever-growing group of monsters. Is that the right word? You're unsure. But you're naked, you're cold, and it bothers you for some reason. Would that normally bother you to be nude in a crowd?
I should say so. Mostly, I just would certainly rather not be cold and covered in this viscous material and, well, nude.
You try and try, but you can't seem to get the slime off of you. The crowd grows. It's almost thundering at this point. The footsteps as they are running past you. Now there are maybe 100. You look around in an attempt to find something off. You have no idea how far away, but you can see just a slight outline of a building. It's so dark here, but you think that you make out a tower of some sort. How much do you know about these other places, Ernie? How much do you know about the places outside of Manhattan?
Probably not as much as I would like.
Is it something that you were looking for? What was the purpose of your experiments?
The purpose of the experiments was always to find out what else is there. In the future, of course, I'll find there is so much more. But at the moment, my experience with what else is there is very limited. So at the moment...
So then how does this make you feel?
Fascinated.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Indeed.
The crowd of these perversions, of these experiments, deformities, whatever word it is that you are choosing to place upon them, continues to grow. There are now 200, 250 that have easily run past you, and their line is widening and widening and widening. The sound of their footsteps nearly deafening. You can join them. You can continue to try to get out of their way, or you can remove yourself in an opposite direction or a perpendicular direction. What would you like to do, Ernie?
In which direction is that tower?
Across and through the crowd.
That is the direction that I am going.
My best friend is a machine